Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop where we mix a little humor, a little know how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your cup of Joe, check your order before you slide out of the drive through, lock it down in your cup holder, sit back, don't get too comfortable, keep an eye on the road and the other guys out there. And join the crew this morning because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins joining you this morning. Thank you for bringing me into your automobile for Motormouth's 8 a.m. morning drive or from wherever you are listening from. Everything we talk about right here and on our YouTube channel lives on our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's the huge form. The short form is CC Bus, BUS is in Sam, NET.com. It's the biggest drawer in our toolbox. That's where we have all our contacting information is there for our program partners. All their logos are on the homepage. Click and connect. It's that simple. Just click on their logo. It will open a profile page. From there, you have all their information. You can check them out. They've been a part of Car Connection as we've just come off 31 years on radio with our morning program, 7 a.m., Saturdays only, Car Connection Live call it automotive program. So on the top right-hand corner of our homepage at ccbusnet.com is where you'll find all our links so you can follow. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iHeartRadio, Stevensville on the web.ca, some awesome businesses in Stevensville. My pops has lived there 30 plus years, and they made us a nice profile page on their local website. So just click on the businesses tab to find our profile, and there is a website form through that link as well for you to send me an email. So if there's something specific, a topic specific you'd like me to cover, send me an email. Drop a comment in one of our videos. We put 3 videos up every single week, 2 for Tuesday, 1 every Friday. Yes, we'll drop today at 4:30 for you. Some great videos where you will always learn 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, costs you money, and what are some of the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership that you could learn very easily that would help reduce your automotive repair bills. How many are in for that? Yeah, I can help you on this channel and our YouTube channel by learning the basic fundamentals of owning and operating an automobile, keeping that vehicle longer, and putting money back in your wallet. So if that is of interest to you, you're in the right place. So let's get started this morning. We have a brand new topic to kick off. I haven't forgotten about the transmission myth and how you can avoid a $7,000 bill. I'm working on estimates, so all the guys are busy. It's not like they're just going to stop and say, "Hey, Motormouth, I'll get that done for you." They're busy, and I want you to see the big picture, and I will share that with you. The big picture being neglecting your vehicle's automatic or manual transmission, particularly the automatics, you get into a big hole very, very quickly with repairs. And 7,000 is still kind of a starting point. So I have some estimates coming, real world numbers right from a transmission rebuilding shop on what it costs for an average vehicle out there on the road. So something that's very popular, and there's lots of them, and there are a lot of transmission problems as well with the domestics. Yeah. Only lately I've been hearing a lot more online influencers that are mechanical in some way, shape, or form, really recommending, like Honda, Toyota, Nissan. Well, maybe not as much, but Honda and Toyota fans out there that are mechanics. And just watched the video yesterday, and the gentleman who has the shop, he has 4 of the same domestic vehicles on his lot, with all sharing the exact same transmission problem. 4. I'm going, wow, must be Generous Motors. I don't know. Yeah, he did say that. They were all Chevrolets. Same brand, same make and model. There's a pattern failure there that's huge. It's absolutely huge. And he was just sharing his thoughts on it. He goes, like, this shouldn't be happening. And it shouldn't. He's right. It shouldn't be happening. Give us a better product. That's all we're saying. For the money, give us a better product. Because I'll just admit right now, there's no way I could afford in my budget to drive a domestic vehicle. No disrespect, but you know what? Start building something, for Pete's sake. Start building something. How does my FJ, we're going to hit the 400,000 kilometer club this year, heading for 600,000. How does a 99 Honda Civic DX get 321,000 kilometers on it? Man, I couldn't even get 1 year on the Cadillac I drove. That thing was a freak show. The service light was on full time. I could floss. Yeah, night or day. And then I turned it into an Oldsmobile and pulled all the junk out of there. And it was a great car. Then I got rid of it. Yeah, I got a Supra. There you go. Like, yeah. I did have a really good Buick LeSabre that I loved. It was really good. It was a 1978. That was my winter beater. And I bought that through some friends in the trade. Someone through someone also had it as a winter car, and it came from Florida. It was chalky blue because it was faded. But that vehicle, I was talked into selling it 3 times, and I bought it back 3 times. It was a really good one. I sold it to my friend Boner, and I said, Boner, that was his nickname. His last name was, I can't say it because it's on the air, right? We worked together. So I said, if you're going to, he goes, come on, Motormouth, sell that to me. I want to put my Honda away for the winter. So anyways, I did. And I said, well, the stipulation is sign here. I get the car back the day you say you don't want it. And I got it back from him, and it was great. When I got it back from my lawn maintenance guy, I told him, I said, you got to put floor mats in. Get some really good floor mats. No, didn't listen. Took the floors out on both sides, passenger and front, because they were soaking wet all winter. But I bought it back, and I fixed it, and then I sold it again. Anyways, but that was a great car. And I say that to say this. No matter what vehicle you have chosen, there are going to be problems. So that's why we're going to cover that today. The topic, you ready for it? Can I get a timpani? Maybe. Let me see if I can pull it off. Yes. What does that dashboard light really mean? We're going to unpack that. I'm going to deal with the fear, the phobia, all of it. Yeah. Exactly. So we're going to unpack that. So don't be afraid, babies. Get your crayons, pass them over to your co-pilot. If you have one this morning, give them the folded up, like I like to call it, laptop leaf bag, because you can just, once you fold it right, you can just keep on folding it and fold where you've written, tuck it under, and you got a clean surface. It's just like that. It's better than an Etch-a-Sketch. Truly. Yeah, so you take some notes. If you can't take some notes because you're driving, homepage, the biggest drawer in our toolbox at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com, and I put all these details in the description of every podcast. So don't worry. I got your back completely. And you can go to the homepage at ccbusnet.com. Click on the iHeartRadio icon, and it'll take you right to our channel. So wherever you pull your podcast from, your family, your friend, your peeps, your circle of friends, tell them to type Car Connection Workshop in the search bar, and we're there. We're on all the big platforms, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple, and a plethora of podcasting channels. Thanks to iHeartRadio. We appreciate them very, very much. All right, let's have our swiggy together, and let's really get rolling now. Let's get into this morning, because there's a lot of people get all bent out of shape, and I've talked about it before. Some of the craziest things that I've seen that are covering the service light. When you get in the car and you turn the key, and I look at the dash and I go, oh, I can't see the service light. There's a little dog over there, a little cat, a budgie. Oh, whose children are those? Is that your favorite mother-in-law? Etc. Hockey cards, favorite player. Yeah, covering up what I like to call the money light, because that's what everybody else does, is you panic when that light's on. Hey, all 4 of mine came on this week. Yes, it did. And I had my scan tool with me because I kind of suspected we just may be able to catch this little boogity thing that's been driving me crazy. So first and foremost, whatever your morning beverage is, take it easier if you're out there on the highway. Don't leave the road. Stay on the road. It just makes it easier to maneuver today. It's still quite slickery out there. It is winter. This is the Great White North. So raise your cup on 3, 2, 1. We'll have a little swiggy together this morning, and let's get the ball rolling. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is so good. Mind if I have another one? Not at all. You go ahead, too. Oh, that is just one of the ahs of life. Car Connection is brought to you by Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931, providing building supplies, hardscape landscaping supplies to help you create that beautiful backyard space just for you. And I'll tell you, it is worth every penny. It really is. I love that backyard space in late spring all the way through the summer. It is worth it. It is that tranquil spot that you can own and hide there and just relax. Just let it go. And they'll help you with all of that, and even give you referrals to landscapers that can truly put together something very beautiful for you so that you can enjoy that backyard space. Check them out on our website. Just click on the link below their logo, and you can connect, and you can say hi to the Grimo family, and you will get customer service like you have never, ever seen before in your life. Car Connection also brought to you by Rainbow Motors and Garage. Sales and service you can trust in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. They've been a part of Car Connection for years, and we're glad to have them along with us on this journey on our podcast and our YouTube channel. And you'll also find references to our program partners and sponsors on all our YouTube videos. We don't spend a lot of time talking and nattering. We just get right into the work, just like that. All the details for you to connect and find some businesses that have my seal of approval on them night or day. They're there for you. Well, let's talk about that service light, shall we? And when it comes on, how does that make you feel? Yeah, my professor used to say that. Professor of psychology. How does that make you feel? I don't know. Everyone knows. So when that service light's on, what is your interpretation? Drop a comment in one of our videos on our YouTube channel. We have almost 100. I think we're almost just on the back door of 150 videos up there for you that are all teaching videos, showing you the basic fundamentals on how an automobile works and how you can learn about the functions and perhaps even pick up a few tips, things that you've been doing that are really bad habits, like not using your parking brake every time you park the car. That's one. And what that looks like. And what happens when the service light comes on. And I use my own particular vehicle to show you that because we're still having a challenge with it, but we know what it is now. So it's just a matter of money. That's all. Yeah, the 2007 FJ Cruiser has decided that one or two of the catalytic converters are lazy. They're not reading the exhaust fast enough, and one of them's really lagging behind, and that's the one that is throwing the service light on. So that's where we're going next. We got to save the money up, and they're going to have to replace catalytic converters, and it has wonderful four. It has four catalytic converters, not Cadillac converters, but because one of the catalytic converters, the fault code is saying that one of them is just not reading correctly. So it's out of sync. And we've tried some things, and it worked for a while, but there's still a complication there. The lights all came on earlier in the week, and I had to go on the road to get a pile of things taken care of, including some dental all at the same time. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. It's a white knuckle moment. That's all I can tell you. For me, it's a white. I'm better than when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't scream and cry and everything anymore, but I still don't like it. No, it's just is what it is for me. Just is what it is. So the lights were on when I left the driveway, and I thought, I'm going to drop them off, clear out the system, and I'm going for a long run. I'll leave the scan tool on there so I can monitor the monitors. And what does that mean? It means the service light is the way for the vehicle to communicate with you. That's it, to communicate. It's not there to scare you. I've heard it called the money light and all kinds of other things. If it's not flashing, then you're okay to continue to drive. But that doesn't mean drive it forever with the service light on. Why is that? Because if other systems that are communicating to the onboard computers find a system that is faulty, if the light is already on, here's the kicker, if the light is already on and it has been on for quite some time, the computer can't flag the problem to you and turn the light on again because it's already on. See? Because if you turn on the kitchen light and you want to turn it on again, but it's already on, it's on, right? You got to turn it off to turn it back on. That's how that works. So you got to get your mind around that. Many years ago, not that long, in the 90s, I can't tell you the number of people that would say to me, if only our vehicles could tell us when there's a problem. Bam. Would you look at that now? Later in the 90s. We don't like to talk about the feedback carburetor in the OBD1 system. That thing was a nightmare for us in the service base. Let me tell you, it was an absolute nightmare. The service light was on all the time. You might as well build like a little, memorial to your family or your pets around it because it was always on. And the systems were very archaic at the time. But we did make it through that. The first computers, ECMs that came out were just absolutely great to beat and lay a whaling on with a hammer or crush it in the vise in the shop because the electronics were absolute junk inside them. Yeah, I think there's some little old fella in a closet or a small dark room somewhere with a Heath kit building ECMs back then. We had all kinds of stories, us service techs, just going, yeah, I got 6 of them outside with the service light on. And at that time, it was just a little red light that would flash in the dash. Bloop, 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 and totally drive you crazy. And then we had to go into the system and press a button and hold it, and then it would flash 3 times fast, bloop, bloop, bloop. And then now you got to count the flashes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more time. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the first digit of a 2-digit fault code. So now it's cycling, the computer's cycling, and now we get to count the flashes again. And then sit there and record all this. Yeah, so that's where we were. And now we have more electronics on our vehicle than what powers the space shuttle. And that's a fact. You can check that. You can fact check me on that. Yeah, I didn't make it up. It's true. So now we have systems that we moved into another era where we got into OBD2, onboard diagnostics 2, and now we have a proper check engine light. That's where that came from. Check engine light was the midterm, OBD2. I think we're up as high as OBD5 now, 5 or 6. Yeah. There's still a lot of vehicles out there on OBD2, onboard diagnostics 2, the ALDL port that we plug into is still it's all the same right at the moment. That could change any time. It sure can. So when we went to OBD2, what we found was still a lot of the monitored systems on your vehicle. So I'll give you an example. The coolant system, anything to do with air fuel supply, well, not really supply, the fuel injectors themselves, but not supply. There is no monitoring system on getting the fuel from the tank to the injectors. There isn't one. That's called your fuel filter, which is a fuel purifier. We're going to crack that open a little bit too in another program. So you've got coolant, fuel, airflow, intake temperature, oxygen sensors, your favorite, fuel caps. There's another one. It's a simple system, but it's complicated. And then we have TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system. Yeah, so we have on the evap side, that's your fuel cap. So all those are most of your service lights. And then we have transmission control modules, TCMs, that are also monitoring shift points and pressure points inside the transmission. So that can also throw its own fault code. So that's a separate computer monitoring the transmission. Then you have another ECM that's monitoring everything on the engine. Pretty much everything, except the driver. Yep, the driver is sleeping. And you have a picture of a budgie over the engine light. No, just kidding. We got to laugh about it because I keep thinking, and I remember those conversations like it happened yesterday. You know, if only our vehicles could tell us when something's wrong. And now we're going, stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Turning that light on. Exactly. Now we're freaking out and having to go for treatment and therapy for months on end. My service light came on. I can't handle it. I'm going to lose it. No, don't lose it. Yeah. The reason the light is on is one of the monitored systems on the vehicle by the computer, the ECM, has said something is not right in Denmark. And I'm letting you know. Boom, light goes on. At least we don't have the systems, the earlier systems where if a pigeon flew over and put a package on your windshield for you, the service light would come on. And we had all kinds of laughs in the service bays over this. Did you close the car door? Yeah. Well, you turned the service light on. Oh. Did a black cat go in front of the car on your road test? Yes. It turned the service light on. The systems then were so oversensitive that if any monitored systems just had a splits, a 1/1000th of a second glitch, bam, the service light came on. And that was a difficult period of time for us in the service bays because service lights, a duck could fart and turn the service light on. Yeah, exactly. It was very patience trying time. Now we at least have systems where the computer watches for the glitch multiple times from the same zone that it's monitoring before it triggers the service light and a fault code. Okay, that's where we're going next. So the computer is able to communicate. And now it's great because we can use Bluetooth. We don't even need to bring the car in from outside of the shop. So if we're busy and we need to just quickly scan the vehicle, we can do that. We can do that from our own living room, actually, with our engine analyzer. We can connect, we can access, and we can see what the computer's been looking at and monitoring and where a problem is developing. What I don't want you to think is this, and this is unfortunately where a lot of heads, talking heads, have come together and said, oh, you just got to go down to the Princess of the Palace store or, the Jungle website and get yourself a code reader. Okay. For $79 or whatever it is, less than $200. Mind you, there are some that are pretty decent. It gives you a lot of information. But that's the thing. I just said the key. Gives you a lot of information. Just because the service light is on and you can take a look and see what the fault code is, that doesn't give you the answer to the problem. What it gives you is a suspect. It's almost like a murder mystery. Service lights on. We need to gather information. Well, how do we do that? There has been a murder. Yeah, in the kitchen with a stale donut. Get out of here. Or was it a croissant? Well, we're still determining what the cause, what the weapon was used. So that's what I'm saying. Is it's funny, but it's exactly how it works. So there's been a crime committed. How do we get down to the knucklehead that did it? There's got to be interviews, right? Asking questions, going door to door, checking things out, gathering info, intel, documentation, photographs, video footage. Your service light is exactly the same idea. The light is on. Oh, a crime has been committed here. Put your little cutesy wootsy little $79 code reader in there. I got this. No, you don't. No. Not usually. Highly unlikely. You've gathered some information. But now you've got to take that information to the next level. What is that? We got to start asking questions and checking things. That's called diagnostics. If I had a nickel for every time someone used one of those code readers and changed an oxygen sensor or a fuel cap, I'd probably be talking to you from some very warm address right now and listening to the water lapping on my feet and watching ice melt in my nice fruit beverage with the little umbrella in it. Okay, that might have been too far. But anyhow, that's what happens. Dude gets the code reader. Could be a neighbor, could be a friend, somebody in your circle of peeps. thinks he's now a brain surgeon because he's got this little code reader. Yep, there's a code. This is what it is. Change it. If it were just that easy, friends, we'd all be mechanics, right? That's called diagnostics. That's when the parts canon comes out. And here's where the term money light comes in. The parts cannon comes out, and we just start firing parts on it, but the service light still comes back on. That's the difference between diagnostics, try a part, spend your money, and, oh, that didn't fix it. Try a part, spend your money. Oh, that didn't fix it. That's when you look at them and go, do you even know what you're doing? You're costing me a fortune. Yeah, who's paying for this? Well, I love the answer. Well, I don't know anything. You shouldn't just take my word for it. I don't know nothing. I'm just trying to help you. Spend your money. So if it were that easy, but if you get caught up in that cycle where the parts cannon comes out, dude's trying to do you a favor, and, bless his little heart for that. But you know what? Once you plug something in that's an electronic device on a car, you own it. You cannot send it back. And all that literature is in every box, every package, every parcel that has an electronic component in, a sensor or a control module of any type. You plug it in, you touch, you buy. It's that simple. So we can't send it back. That's the problem. And that's usually where the stories come in. Because the left rear tire had less tire pressure in, that's why the light came on, and then we had to change the ECM, and, it was dirty anyway, so we put a new one in. That didn't fix it. But then, we moved the passenger seat, and, a wire got chafed, so we had to change the control module. It's mounted under the seat. The stories start to cover up the parts cannon. That's what happened. That's, again, called diagnostics. So that's where the money light is on theme came from. That's how it was born, okay? That's not how it should go. If you're working with a true diagnostician, that is a mechanic that's not sitting eating bonbons, chips, and drinking a 2-liter bottle of pop every night in front of the TV and is a brain surgeon on automobiles. No, not that guy. It's the guy who spends time at seminars, buys tickets to get into the seminar out of his own pocket, and gets into classes, evening classes, to learn how to diagnose faster, better, and more accurate, and learning tips and tricks on how to do that. That diagnostician tech is an asset to you, not a liability. And they deserve to be paid to diagnose. You know why? Because they're not getting out the parts cannon to just throw a pile of parts on. Even a blind hog can find an acorn once in a while, yeah? Exactly. So now that vehicles can communicate with us on a really big level, and even by Bluetooth, wireless, it's made things easier but complicated. When we pull out the fault codes, that's not the end of the story. That's the beginning of the process to get to the answer. Why is that light on? What systems are linked together that could set this particular fault code? You see where I'm going? Just because you have one fault code, what systems work together that can set that exact same fault code? That's where pinpoint testing comes in. What are the circuits? Where are the monitored systems and the sensors or control units? And now the wiring diagram comes out. Now we've got a test. Input signals, output signals. So in other words, Is there a signal going to the sensor that on the system that's being monitored? And is there a electrical monitoring coming out? So we have a signal going in, but do we have monitoring coming out? A signal coming out. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's the difference between parts canon, diagnostician, truly diagnosing, and getting down to the causal component. So just reading the fault code isn't, I got it, yippee! Yep, change the fuel cap. Oh, that wasn't it. Well, maybe you can take it back. No, you can't. Well, let's try again. Oh, I don't know what happened. It's a heated oxygen sensor. Yep, on bank one. So you get your guy or a fella to change that, and a couple days go by. Oh, light's back on. I thought you fixed it. Well, let me have another look at it. Get the little cute reader out. Plug it in. Yeah, yeah. There's still a problem with oxygen sensor. Oh, well, maybe it was a defective one. Yes, these are real stories, folks. You cannot make this crap up. You cannot. What does it do? It's all, you're not saving a dime. It's costing you money to play this game. Pay the diagnostician tech that knows how to go after diagnosing it. Yeah, because there's a troubleshooting tree that we use. And you don't skip a beat. You follow the diagnostic tree, do all your testing to get down to the causal component. The causal component. And it could end up being that there is a component that's not monitored, but it's in the monitored system that has failed. You understand what I'm saying? It may not necessarily be the monitoring component, the sensor, for a better term, an easier term to understand, but there's a component that has failed in that system that's monitored by the computer that's triggering that service code. That's what we're talking about. That's diagnosing. Then getting down to determining, okay, it's got to be this component. Now testing that component to determine, is it good or bad? That's what we have to do. And sometimes it's not easy. It can be an intermittent problem where the light's on and it may not be on for 5-6 months, and then bam, it's back on. And then we go back in. We've got the history we've collected, the data, the information from previous visits to the shop. We can look back and go, okay, yeah, we tested this, we did this, we did this, we did this. Yeah, kind of like a doctor. See the charts, look at the patient's charts, look at the history. What did we do last time? Did they come in for something similar? We have to do the same thing as a service tech. What did we do last time? When was that? How many kilometers, miles ago? How many months ago? Exactly. We have to start the process. So there is a process to the service light. It becomes the money light when you have someone who gets the parts cannon out and starts throwing parts on your car. Not diagnosing, doing diagnostics. Try a part, hope for the best. Try another part, hope for the best. You're not saving money. You're blowing your wallet full of holes. That's how diagnosis works. When the service light is on, we plug in or Bluetooth, read what the computer has seen, and now the work begins. Asking questions, interviewing components, verifying signals, testing, pinpoint testing, looking at the circuits. What's included in that particular monitored circuit that can make that service light come on with that particular fault code? There can be more than one component related to that fault code. That's what I'm trying to tell you in short term. There can be a number of components related directly to the fault code that you're pulling off with your little cutesy wootsy $79 reader. We need an engine analyzer that we can actually see the monitored systems and check input signals and output signals without tearing the whole car apart, but actually taking and gathering information that's going to help us get down to what? The causal component. That's where we need to go. So that, my friends, is the short story of how that service light works. So remember this. Don't get caught up in the diagnostics team. They're trying to help you, but you know what? It always blows out a pile of money, and then the car ends up coming to us. Number 2, don't be afraid of that service light. Your car is speaking to you, letting you know that something's going on before it turns into a catastrophic problem that causes some catastrophic, that just insert the word expensive damage. Yeah. And then there's emotional damage after that. Lots of it. And therapy. And copious quantities of high-test coffee. Exactly. So I hope this has helped you to get a better understanding. If Nabe wants to come over with the code reader, just say, hey, I appreciate it, but I got this. Not to say maybe your neighbor is a service tech, but how good of a diagnostic service tech is he? Because there's 2 types of techs. There's those that are good at the mechanical side, so that's brakes, tires, exhaust, suspension, steering, cooling systems, engine parts, but not a true diagnostician. Those guys and gals, I know some gals that are diagnosticians. What they do is the vehicle comes to their bay, and it's like their little office. They got their laptop. They got everything they need right there. They diagnose. They write the recipe. They put it on the windshield. The car goes out. They bring the next one in. What they do all day is they diagnose why the service light is on whatever automobiles are on the schedule for the day. They don't do the repair. They do the diagnosis. They do the road test. They do the diagnosis. They write the prescription for the patient, and Skippy does the work, and then it comes back to the diagnostician for another checkup, a road test, a verification, confirmation, vehicle's fixed. Then it leaves that service bay. Those are technicians that are being paid very well for their knowledge, their time, and their skills. Big time. Because that's where the rubber meets the road, truly. So I hope this is kind of giving you a better idea of the quote money light. Covering it up doesn't help you at all, can actually put your vehicle in a position where catastrophic big dollar items get broken, because if the light is on already, the computer can't trigger the light a second time. Got it? Good. If you have any questions whatsoever at any time, our website is the biggest drawer in our toolbox for you to connect with us. That's where you can like, follow, share, the whole 9 yards on our homepage at ccbusnet.com. That's where you can connect with businesses that we align ourselves with, that I have given them my seal of approval. Many of them, pretty much all of them that are with us right now, all of them have been a part of Car Connection one way, shape, or another for quite some time. They're there to help you. They don't work for free, but if they want to give you a blessing, they'll do that on their own. And on our homepage is where you can grab all the links for our YouTube channel. Would be a great asset to you, because all the videos up there are all teaching videos. We have a lot of fun. Skippy, my videographer, puts together reels and outtakes and bloopers that are up on Facebook, Instagram. You won't see any of those videos anywhere else. They're not on our YouTube channel. And she puts together some pretty interesting things that will definitely make you laugh. There's Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. iHeartRadio's up there. Icon, just click and it'll take you right to our channel. And our podcasts are on all platforms. So just type Car Connection Workshop in the search engine and you'll find us. And our merch store is there. And we now have, after 31 years on radio, we have our very own Car Connection official Car Connection coffee mug, limited edition. So anytime you purchase merch on our merch store, it's all done online. You order online, pick the color, the size, the product, and it's and pay safely online, and it comes right to your door. It's shipped out by Freedom Expressions. Thank you to Total Freedom Darien Center, New York, and Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba, Canada. That's a men-only campus. What do they do there? They change lives. They help people with addictions to fix their life and get them back on track and get them back into the workforce, back into becoming who they were born to be in the first place. Exactly. So our merch doesn't fill our pockets. It helps those who just need a hand up, not a handout. So when you buy some merch, know that you're helping someone to get to the one or other campus to get that addiction worked on and taken care of for good. So thank you for joining us today. Car Connection brought to you by City Auto Sales and Leasing, providing low mileage, top quality pre-owned vehicles at fair prices. That's how they've earned the title Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. They have leasing, they have in-house financing, and most of all, you can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. They do carry a large inventory of vehicles. If they don't have what you're looking for, let them know, because they have 25 plus years in the business and lots of resources to help you find that vehicle. And in Scarborough, Rainbow Motors and Garage, same thing. They have a small car lot. They can't keep everything there. If you're looking for something specific, they don't have it. Let them know. Let Rita and Ramiz Shanuda know what you're looking for so they can source it and see if they can find something that you are looking for that's in top drawer condition, because these people don't sell any junk to anyone. Car Connection brought to you by our certified financial planning professionals. Tony Miele and Larry Teacherall are my brothers from other mothers. 50 years experience as fiduciaries. They are two of the best in their field in all of Canada, and you'll never hear them say that because they're very humble. They work with IG Wealth Management, so whether you have $1, $100,000, they'll take a look at your portfolio, review it, and make some suggestions. They deal with debt retirement, estate planning, powers of attorney, all of it. Mortgages, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and you have access to what we call the discovery meeting, an hour and a coffee. That's complimentary get together by Zoom, by phone, in their office, in their boardroom, at a coffee shop, at your home, wherever you're comfortable. They don't need any more clients, Tony and Larry. They don't. I just met with Larry this week on Monday, and they've been at this for a long time and helped a lot of people. So before you take advice from someone who's not standing where your feet should want to be, get that hour and a coffee. There'll be no sales, no gimmicks. Nobody's pushing anything on you. They're going to listen and then see how they can draft a plan to help you. So take advantage of their time, but don't take advantage of them. If you're not willing to give them all the honesty they need to hear from you to help you, then don't waste their time. Just don't, because, that person that really needs that hour and a coffee, that discovery meeting, you may take that time away from them. So all you do to book your meeting is to click on the logo for Tony or Larry and choose who you want to work with, connect, and book it and get it done. Watch what happens. Your world will change. Absolutely will change. Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men and women, children, meals, love, and hope, changing lives one at a time. And in the times when the community support is crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassionate transformation. For 31 years, Car Connection has always aligned itself with a nonprofit faith-based organization in our area, in our own backyard, that is helping people in all walks of life. They feed out of the building twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Today is that day, and they're seeing the numbers go up. They're up to over 200 meals every Tuesday, every Friday. So if you could see clear to help them in any way, shape, or form, become a volunteer, donate some products. They don't get any government funding whatsoever, so they are responsible to create their own fundraising packages for businesses to come alongside. So if you have small business, medium business, or large business, or just someone who wants to get involved, you'll be sowing some great seeds there, because they know how to take a nickel and hammer it into a dollar, changing lives from children all the way up to seniors, single moms. No one's excluded. There are programs for free at Crystal Ridge Dream Center for all age groups. So till tomorrow morning will be Saturday morning. We'll see you for another Motormouth morning drive Saturday morning. So stay with us. You can find us at Car Connection, businessnetwork.com, ccbusnet.com. Always read the description box for all our podcasts and all our YouTube channel videos, because that's where you will find that information. So if you didn't get a chance to write it down, it's always there for you so that you can connect with us. Hey, keep it under 100. Be safe out there. Drive according to road conditions. And remember, peace, patience, and kindness. Bye for now.